I know, I'm shit. I haven't done a video for ages. Sorry. All right, this is a email and it's long and it's from somebody who's German. That's all I can tell you at this point. This person writes, first of all, I want to apologize for my English writing. I'm from Germany. It's not my native language. And so it might be that I've made a few mistakes. So I've just found your channel on YouTube, watched your first few videos, blah, blah, blah. I absolutely love it too. You have convinced me from the first moment that you are fully recovered. Some of YouTubers can't really do that. However, that's the reason I decided to write to you and share my story and kindly ask for advice. I'd be very happy if you could answer me. All right. Okay, let's start. In July or maybe even June 2017, I was starting to have this anorexic mindset. I tried to follow low-carb guidelines and also cut out very high-fat foods and just ate half of what I used to. I probably should mention that I was naturally skinny my entire life, always a little underweight but on a very healthy body without restricting my food or over-exercise. In the summer holidays, me and my family spend them in Italy, things were getting even worse. I skipped meals, I just ate steamed fish and vegetables and was swimming in the pool extremely hard. I didn't spend any quality time with my family and couldn't enjoy vacations. At home again, there was no improvement. I was totally obsessed with food, searching for recipes all the time, spending so much time in the supermarkets, etc. Of course, my family was very worried, but then the school started and I thought that things were okay again, but they were not. I skipped all of my meals in school and was moving whenever I could. Every night in bed, I told myself that I would stop the next day. That sounds familiar for many of you. But then on Friday of the first week of school, I had an appointment with a therapist. I had a breakdown and told him and my mum everything. They then decided to put me out of school. We made a calorie-based meal plan and I was forced to go twice a week to my doctor and let him weigh me. By the way, in my deepest eating disorder, I really didn't care about my body, my weight. It was more about not eating thing. But instead of better, my anorexia got even worse. I cheated with calories whenever I could. I put my meal in the trash, secretly exercising in my room. I lost weight very quickly. So my doctor said he couldn't handle this anymore. At least he was honest. Doctor said he couldn't handle this anymore. My family decided to put me in an inpatient treatment in October. Because I eat absolutely nothing in there for 4 days, I got a tube. Okay, so the stay was terrible, and the first month, nothing really changed. But after 2.5 months, I was doing better, and got off the tube, and was in a better weight. But after a few days at home, I relapsed badly. Ate hardly anything, exercised extremely, lost weight to a very dangerous level, and was deeper anorexia than before. So me and my mum decided to transfer me to another hospital. This was in February. I had a BMI of ... couldn't sit in the therapeutic setting. But at the end of April, something made me click in my head. I decided to let go of the disorder, and it worked really well. Things went very well in my own responsibility, and I went back home to stabilize. This was in July. In the beginning, let's say the first 2 months, everything was very good. But then the anorexic mindset came back. Since I was at home, I did the mini-meal method, starts really good without any guilt or something. But then I became obsessed with calorie counting, which I had never done before. I cheated to my mum badly, skipped many meals, and always picked the lowest option. I restricted nearly every food. But there was this problem with my doctor who weighs me. When I calculated how much weight I needed to have the same weight as last time, and then I'd count this in calories, and I'd go shopping for all the food that I wouldn't let myself eat, and then 3 days before my appointment, I ate all of the food at night. And since then, I always did it like that. At the beginning, it was just, I don't know how much that says, but then I get back to eating this massive sweets and junk food. By now, it's more than 28,000 calories. I don't know what to do. At normal days, I restrict so badly just to lose as much weight as possible so that I can stuff myself. I feel like it's allowed for me to eat this unhealthy food, like tons of chocolate cakes, cookies, white bread with butter, etc. And then when I have a clear aim to gain, even when I crave into a muffin or something on a normal day, I think things like, no, when you eat now, then you can't eat them later. But then when you don't eat, you eat tons of, I don't understand that. I'm just going to skip that bit. It's so ridiculous. I know that. When it comes to the night, I feel so sick and nauseous because I've eaten so much. And I always swear to myself it was the last time I'd ever do that again. But it never works, and now I'm in that cycle of restricting, losing weight, and eating a normal amount of food to feel no guilt because I have to gain so that no one noticed my still ill mindset. So my question, we got to the question. So my question, do you have any tips for me to stop this behavior? Hannah. Yes. Stop restricting. That was easy. All right, looks like we're done. I mean, really, that's my tip. the reason that you're binging is because you're restricting. The reason that you're restricting is because you're afraid of weight gain. The reason that you're afraid of weight gain is because you've been restricting and you've taught your brain that weight gain is something to be feared. So now you're just in this big old cycle of getting all these fearful emotions around the thought of gaining weight. So you eat a load of food, so then you restrict because you're scared that you're going to gain weight. And then because you're restricted, you're going to eat a load of food because your body's like, fuck you, I need food. So, and then it just goes on and on and on and on. The only way that you're going to stop this cycle is by stopping restricting. If you stop restricting and you actually start forcing yourself to eat normally and eat without restriction, not even normally. Don't worry about eating normally, because this is not about normal. You've got to eat way more than normal. But what I mean is, like, when I say eat normally, eating normally for me is actually eating what my body wants me to eat. And so that's eating without restriction. That's what I consider eating normally. And so if you actually did that, which would be a ton of food for a really long time, and then finally, your body will just all simmer down and you'll be fine. But in order to, the reason that if you eat without restriction, then it's scary at first because your brain is giving you all of these negative emotions because your brain is fearful of weight gain, because you've taught your brain to be fearful of weight gain. But if you eat without restriction and show your brain, look, brain, there is nothing to be fearful about with weight gain. Even pretend I'm not afraid. Then your brain's watching that, and then your brain starts to learn that shouldn't need to be scared of weight gain. So then the negative emotions and all that stuff stop. It's fear of weight gain that creates negative body image. It's fear of weight gain that gives you all of the negative emotions such as guilt and shame and all XYZ when you eat more than you think you should. And it's fear of weight gain that makes you not want to gain weight. So we need to attack fear of weight gain. And how do we do that? By eating without restriction. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of food. So yeah, that was the long answer. The short answer is stop restricting. Hannah, I hope that helped. You probably wrote that a really long time ago. If you're watching this, get in touch. And by the way, your English is really good.